Hi, folks. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to DJ Trish Mullins. I'm sure almost everybody knows who that is. She sent me a mix CD. It's a dual CD. It's got two CDs in there. Here's a look at you can hit pause if you want and see all the tracks on there. There's a bazillion tracks on here. I can't tell if Trish is mad at me. There's some Bruno Mars and Ed Sheeran in there, along with Coldplay. So I assume Trish is angry with me for some reason. So I do apologize for whatever I did. All kidding aside, it's like really a really eclectic collection of music. Very, very cool. And along with it, this is kind of interesting too. Cool Grooves News. It's a newsletter about music and mix CDs. This is January/February 2018. And got a bunch of information there, a little bit of a write-up and a story of a mixtape and a Q&A from a couple of people. And Trish sent a note saying, here's a 2 CD mix and a revived zine of mine. I hope you are inspired. And I got sent a couple of here's her card with her YouTube channel name at the bottom, DJ Trish. She is a DJ. And a sticker from Shore Fresh Seafood in Point Pleasant, Jersey. And then out of Bayhead, a little sticker from the Bayhead Cheese Shop. Kind of cool. As far as being inspired, this is so cool. It's like there's a very, having kind of come up on a lot of punk music, this sort of thing, a little zine like this. It may not be punk music, but it definitely is punk. There's a DIY ethos that's like not all wrapped up in a $30 pastel colored metal record or whatever is being passed off these days as authentic. This is authentic. A mix CD. This is authentic. It's energy and time, and somebody who loves music put their time and effort into it. And thanks, Trish. This is very sweet of you. And when I get equally inspired, I'll send something back your way. All right, let me get on to what's spinning. All right, so I got a stack of 7, 8 records, something like that. That's just been kind of sitting by the turntable. It's records I've been just kind of spinning for a while. So before I put them back onto the shelf, figured let's just do a what's spinning, show what I've been listening to. From 1980, I'm pretty sure, we got the Cramps, Songs the Lord taught us on IRS Records. It's IRS Records. Yeah. It's a little IRS rainbow label. You get an idea right there. A little psychobilly. This is Green Milk from the Planet Orange. Green Milk from the Planet Orange are a Japanese band. It's psychedelic. It's experimental. I'm pretty sure they're from Tokyo, but they used to play. They had in the mid 2000s. They had a period where they played a bunch in Portland, Oregon, and this is actually on a Portland label, Beta Lactam Ring Records. If you can make that out. The name of the album is City Calls Revolution. There's a look at the back. It's a gatefold. It's a good heavyweight gatefold. Let's look at the label. Nothing terribly special. A bird, silhouette of a bird flying around. The inner sleeve has just got like the P.O. box address of the place that pressed it. Well, the label anyway. It was manufactured in the Czech Republic at the time. This is from 2006. And let me do a needle drop. And then following up, some even earlier Green Milk from the Planet Orange. He's Crying Look. The cover looks a little bit beat up, but it's actually not. It's just the style that it was printed in. This is from 2004, also on Beta Lactam Ring Records. It's a mouthful. Yeah, 2004. Green Milk from the Planet Orange. This is also a gatefold. Came with a little insert. I think both of these are pretty low press runs. This is an insert right here, and it says number 60 out of 225. So very small run. Look at the label. And let me do a needle drop from this one as well. I figured probably not going to get a copyright hit on these ones that I do drops on. Take a listen. All right, next up we got The Wedding Present out of England, pretty sure. It's called George Best. And because, well, that's George Best. He was awesome footballer back in the day. It's on Reception Records from 1987. Kind of an interesting thing about this record, it's indie. The vocalist, to me maybe sounds a little bit like Andy Partridge, and the guitar's a little bit jangly. There's I don't have it, but there's a redo of this album. Essentially, I'm pretty sure it was they went to Steve Albini's studio, and they just played the record again and pressed it on wax. I want to say it came out last year, even though the recording was done a while ago. I do want to pick it up and see, how it sounds different. Let's look at the band. This is the printed inner, along with, a little artwork of Georgie Best on Reception Records. And I can probably get away with a drop on this. Let's take a quick listen to this. All right, next up we have Ferguson Hewlett. The album's called Mushroom Palace. I forgot where I came across this. Let's look at the back. It's number 249 out of 500. I think I bought it on Amazon for like $8 and change, brand new. It's just from the title of the thing and the description in Discogs. It said it was psychedelic. It's not really psychedelic. The lyrics are kind of psychedelic. Here's the. It's got this lyric insert. It's on Kiva Records. It looks like it was printed on a inkjet printer, which is cool. It's fine. It's probably why it was $8. Kind of a plain label there. This is from 2007 on Kiva Records and Void, I think, as well. The thing about it, is like I was expecting psych. but and the lyrics are kind of psychedelic, but like psych, kind of has a sound to it, and it sounds a lot more country to me. And I like country music, but it's kind of like you taking a sip of a beverage in a glass, and you're thinking it's going to be a beer, and then it's milk or something. So it's like I like milk, I like beer, but it's like I expected beer, and like when it was milk, no, what? It's all right. It's decent. I don't know how much I'll spin it. I should probably sit down and really digest it with the lyrics more. I'd probably appreciate it more. We can do a needle drop on this, I'm sure. Let's give it a listen.
My heart has so much love for you, more and more each day. When we are together, time just slips away. And sometime when I slip away.
All right, next up, this came out in January of this year. This is, really can't tell anything from the cover. The band is called Shopping. The name of the album is The Official Body. It's post-punk. I forget where they're from. UK band. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm pretty sure I bought it from overseas. Comes in a lyric in there. This is like it's post-punk, but think about think about like the Slits from the album Cut. It's got a little bit of that sound to it. It's tighter sound. It's definitely more of what you would think of as post-punk. And I don't want to say experimental. Came on white vinyl. There's a little label. And let's see, it was on Fat Cat Records. I'll do a needle drop on this. Take a quick listen. All right, next up, I won't do a needle drop on this. I'm sure people know this. It's Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions. It's on Tamla from 1973. The album, here's with the inner that came with it. And there's a Tamla label. The song that I really love on this album is "Living for the City." It really takes me back to being a kid in the Bronx in the early '70s, and it just fits. It fits the Bronx at that time. And it's a really fantastic song. The rest of the album is good. I know it's got Higher Ground on it. It's considered, a lot of people consider it to be a really, really fantastic album. And it's good, but I don't think it's like the worship worthy that the people make it out to be. Fantastic record though. If you don't have it, and you dig, that, man, it just sounds like New York City in the 70s to me. Anyway. Let's see, two more, okay. Next up, it's a really neat outer sleeve. It's kind of it's a slip cover. This is, speaking of Steve Albini, Shellac. This is his band Shellac. It's Excellent Italian Greyhound. That's the back, actually, oddly enough. And here's the front. An illustrated inner. Illustrated gatefold, I should say. The inner sleeve, it's got a printed inner, and I love the look on a dog's face on this inner. And Greyhound also shows up on the label. I guess the default description is math rock. I like shellac. Steve Albini, is really the guitar. It is math rock. Guitars are very angular. This record has an amount of it's experimental. It's kind of distorted. It's kind of angry. It slows up. It slows down a bit. It's loud. it's an interesting record. Shellac are an interesting band to listen to. It's like, and you know, when Steve Albini is involved, you know, particularly when it's his band, you know, everything, you know, I don't have everything by Shellac, but what I have, just, it sounds fantastic. The sound quality is so good. Anyway, here's a quick needle drop.
Out on Route 128, the dark and lonely. You got my radio on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
All right, the last thing I'm going to show that I've been spinning is an official album. Before it was called Combat Rock. The Clash had a working title for the album called Rat Patrol from Fort Bragg. This is, it says, it's funny, it says made in West Germany. I don't know about that. Considering I think this was printed in like 2013, and West Germany hasn't existed since I was a kid. And, you know, bootlegs. I mean, unofficial records are gonna be like not gonna be like fully truthful about, you know, what's what. The label is called Red and Black. It's on orange vinyl. You know, it's kind of an interesting story about the record. This is it's a double LP, and you know, it's the record. Mick Jones, I think, did all the writing and composition for this, and I guess like they brought in, you know, Joe Strummer didn't like it, the idea that it was a double LP, so they kind of tightened things up and brought in was it Glenn Johns to produce the record and to make it into one LP. Anyway, you know, there's songs on here that are not on Combat Rock. Should I Stay or Should I Go and Rock the Casbah sound different. There's also a version of Rock the Casbah with Ranking Roger on here. So look at the tracks on there. So it's a different album, but it's than Combat Rock. But it was Rat Patrol from Fort Bragg is what the album was called before it was eventually called Combat Rock. So it's a really neat record to have, and for an unofficial record, it sounds excellent. Anyway, that's what I've been spinning lately. I hope everybody's well, and thanks for watching. Catch you later. And listen to this interesting music. You know, life is short. Listen to interesting stuff. Catch you later.